Caitlin Clark to join Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi as special guest on NCAA title broadcast. When UConn takes on South Carolina in the national championship game on Sunday afternoon, one of the greatest women's college basketball players of all time will be watching, Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. Clark is set to join Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi on the Bird and Taurasi Show altcast for the NCAA title game, marking her second appearance on air with the Huskies legends. The ESPN alternate broadcast will start at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. This past year in the WNBA has seen Clark break numerous league records in her historic rookie campaign and Taurasi announce her retirement after a 20-year professional career. Clark and Taurasi faced off 3 times last season, with Clark's Fever besting Taurasi's Mercury in all 3 games. The two will now finally get a chance to sit down and talk hoops and potentially clear the air. During last year's Final Four, Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes memorably knocked out UConn to advance to the national championship. Taurasi made headlines for her ominous message to the then-projected number 1 pick of the 2024 WNBA draft. "Reality is coming," Taurasi said. "You look superhuman playing against some 18-year-olds, but you're going to come play with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time." It can't be lost on Clark that this time around, she'll be watching the next WNBA starlet, UConn's Paige Bueckers, who's expected to be selected first overall in the draft later this month. Paige Bueckers and the UConn Huskies are 1 game away from doing something that Caitlin Clark never did during her time with the Iowa Hawkeyes: win a national championship. While Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks stand in the way of UConn hoisting the trophy, the Huskies seem like the team to beat after they dismantled UCLA in the Final Four. Despite Lauren Betts' Herculean effort, the Bruins were never even competitive in the game. UConn coasted to victory despite a pedestrian performance from Bueckers, who had scored 30 or more points in the previous 3 games. That's because the Huskies have something that the Hawkeyes never did. UConn gave Paige Bueckers something that Iowa never could provide Caitlin Clark. Gino Auriemma built an incredible supporting cast for Paige Bueckers, which Lisa Bluder was never able to do for Caitlin Clark. On Friday, Bueckers' 16 points were the 3rd most on her team behind Sarah Strong and Azzi Fudd, yet the Huskies walked through the Final Four. This takes the pressure off of Bueckers' next game, as the players around her have proven that they are capable options who are deserving of attention. While Clark had players like Kate Martin and Hannah Stuelka to help her out, these two do not hold a candle to what Fudd and Strong are capable of. When Iowa was facing loaded LSU or South Carolina teams in the national championship game, it became obvious that this was the case. The Hawkeyes would have been blown out if Clark had an off game and finished as the team's 3rd leading scorer, so she never had the luxury that Bueckers has at UConn. Bueckers is an incredible player in her own right, and the attention that she draws from opposing defenses is, in part, what allows players like Fudd and Strong to be so successful. She has the ability to put her cape on and lead the team to victory like almost nobody in the sport can do, but she can also afford to have an off night. This is more of a knock on Coach Bluder and a praise of Coach Auriemma than it is a criticism or comparison between these 2 incredible players. It may be a moot point anyway if the Huskies fall short in the national championship, but the point remains that UConn has built a far better supporting cast around Bueckers than Iowa ever did around Clark. Memory of the bitter defeat in the 2023 Final Four, at the hands of Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes, still lingers. That game, in which the Hawkeyes triumphed 77-73, marked the only loss in an impressive 21-win streak in the last 4 NCAA tournaments. For Staley, the loss not only meant missing out on a championship but also the chance to join the exclusive club of undefeated teams, a feat last achieved by UConn in 2016. Fortunately, the following year, the Gamecocks bounced back, claiming the championship and reaffirming their dominance. As this year's final approaches, Staley has made it clear that the past has no place in her mind. "Nothing that happened before will help us on Sunday, nothing," she said firmly after the victory over Texas. For her, the only thing that matters is the present, and her team has shown the resilience needed to overcome any obstacle. However, the challenge against UConn, a team that has already proven capable of surprising, promises to be a completely different test. Dawn Staley's stance ahead of the final. Staley, known for her unwavering approach, has made it clear that no past record or success guarantees a victory. The only thing that will help us is to play the game and see how it unfolds, she emphasized.